Point God. Those are the only two words that can accurately describe Chris Paul because that's just how good of a career he's had so far. But as we all know, his postseason success has fallen way short of his regular season success, which is why Chris Paul needs to sign with the San Antonio Spurs this season. You're watching MDJ, where we talk everything NBA. What's up guys, my name is Mark, and as I was researching for this video, I came across some insane numbers that shows you just how good Chris Paul has been. His 25.57 career PER is the 5th highest since 1974, and whenever he has stepped foot on an NBA court, his team has outscored the opponent by an average of 8.6 points per 100 possessions. Compare this number to legends like Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant, who come in at 7.1 and 6.9 points per 100 possessions respectively. When you take into account his PER and win shares per 48 minutes, he already ranks as the 5th greatest point guard ever, just behind John Stockton, Magic, Jerry West, and Oscar Robertson. To say that Chris Paul is an elite company would be the understatement of the year. However, despite his statistical greatness, there's been a shadow looming over his career, and that's the fact that he's yet to make even a conference finals. The lowlight of his career came in 2014 Game 5 against the Thunder in the second round, where he committed 2 turnovers in the last 17 seconds. That allowed OKC to come back and eventually win the series. All this leads to this year, where Chris Paul will be a free agent for likely the last time during his extended prime. And it just so happens that the Spurs are in dire need of a point guard given Tony Parker's injuries these past couple of years. Remember how we mentioned that Chris Paul has never made the conference finals? Guess how many conference finals the Spurs have made the past 20 years? 10. 10 conference finals in the past 20 years. And 5 championships to go along with it. So let's just say Chris Paul has 2 or 3 more years left in the tank. Based on how good the Spurs have been, it's almost a guarantee that they'll be in at least one of those conference finals. Then we can focus on how Chris Paul would actually fit in with the Spurs. First off, Chris Paul will be teaming up with Kawhi Leonard, who is by far the best player he's ever gotten a chance to play with. An elite two-way player that has transformed himself into a deadly crunch time scorer, taking much needed pressure off of Chris Paul. And then you have LaMarcus Aldridge, a guy whose tenure with the Spurs has been pretty disappointing so far, but is still one of the best shooters at his position, and more importantly, one of the best pick and roll big men you can ask for. That's right, Chris Paul. Pick and roll, your favorite tool on the basketball court. The Chris Paul LaMarcus Aldridge pick and roll would be a nightmare to defend, especially with someone like Kawhi on the weak side to catch a cross-court pass and attack off the dribble. Chris Paul throughout his career also has never had a great backup point guard, and it just so happens that the Spurs arguably have the best backup point guard in the league in Patty Mills. And then, finally, we have Greg Popovich, the legend. In some people's eyes, the greatest coach of all time. Imagine the damage you could do when you pair up the smartest point guard in the league with the smartest coach in the league. It wouldn't be fair. Now, bottom line is this. If there's anyone that can get Chris Paul that postseason success that has long eluded him, perhaps even a ring or two, it's Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs. To avoid the unfortunate possibility of not getting to see one of the greatest point guards of all time never have the opportunity to show us his greatness on the biggest stage in basketball, I sincerely hope that Chris Paul goes to San Antonio. And also because I actually want to see someone in the West challenge Golden State. For Christ's sake. So that's all I got for today's video. Thank you for watching to the end if you did make it this far. If this is your first time here on this channel, I'd love to have you on here, so make sure to subscribe for more NBA videos like this one. Other than that, I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Feeling kinda strange, feeling kinda off. Don't know what's really going on. I feel like something's up and I can only guess the cause. It doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where. Always hits me when I'm unprepared.